everyone, it's Jeannie again with another Flosstube, and I was just coming on to show you my results of WIPGO for March and then what I've accomplished for April. I do have some plans. I have maybe one or two whips that aren't WIPGO, and I have a teeny weeny tiny little bit of haul because I'm trying to do a no buy. I fell off the wagon one or two times in the last 6 weeks or so, but not too bad. Before I get started, you guys, I wanted to say thank you to and do a shout out to Catherine at the Needleberry Stitcher. She shouted me out. Thank you, Catherine. I really appreciate it. I've had a few comments of people who have come over to my channel from hers, and which is very exciting because, you know, I've had my channel for a long time, and I started out mostly doing paper crafts, and I don't really, based on the views that I get on my floss tubes, I don't get very many views. So I don't think I have very many stitchers that watch my channel. So but you know, my channel's not very fancy. I don't really edit, and I don't sit in front of the camera like most people do. I'm thinking about maybe doing that because I do have something I want to show Catherine, but it's something I have to wear kind of in line with her, her mag eyes. I have another kind of funny looking magnification thing with a light on it, so I may have to show her that at some point. But anyway, but thank you, Catherine. If you haven't seen Catherine, she's relatively new to Flosstube. I want to say she has maybe 13 or 14 videos, so easy to catch up on. And she's just, I think she's hilarious. We sort of have we have a lot of the same taste in projects, and and I think her sense of humor, I just think she's hilarious. I think we're similar in that way. And if I can tempt you even more, you guys, she has a full collection of Mirabilia patterns from 1 on up. And she has three videos of her pattern parade for her Miras. And it is drool worthy. I mean, I can't even imagine having all that great stuff to stitch. Plus, she's got a ton of whips, lots of full coverage. She just has a really good variety. So, yeah. So if you're looking around on Flosstube, I would recommend the Needleberry Stitcher. And again, that's Catherine. All right. So let's jump into my whips. The one thing that I worked on that was not a WIPGO was this realist kit of this the blue fairy. I'm calling her the blue-haired fairy, and but anyway, this is what the pattern will look like when it's done. And I have subbed out the fabric, the white Aida for 28 count Sprite Lugana, which is kind of a pinky purple color, kind of lavender. So this is where I am. Not very far. I've only been working on one color. So, and I can't decide if I want a color complete or what I want to do with her. I'm not sure if that's focusing. Come on. So there we go. That seems to be a little bit better. But anyway, but this one's been fun. This one's for my daughter, and I think she's going to be really pretty when she's done. So yeah. So there's that one. And then this one, oh, and you guys, I forgot to bring my tablet in here. But this whip was called for WIPGO, and it is my Plague Nurse. And if you go back to my last video, I show it to you. This is actually it's a free one from Night Spirit Studio that's actually on my tablet, and I totally forgot my tablet's charging, and I totally forgot to bring it in here. I'm sorry. But it's a nurse and with a bun in her hair, and she's got one of those long kind of bird masks on. And this was what I called for WIPGO. So if you look at my last video, you'll be able to see the progress that I made. And I realized, you guys, as I was working on her, I really was hoping to finish her skin, or at least her face. But I'm missing a color. I didn't realize it. I didn't leave myself a note in the project bag that I was missing a color. So I didn't get to finish her face, but I did get a lot more work on her bodice and a start on her sleeve. And this is not a very big one, but again, it's a freebie from Night Spirit Studio, so you can find it there. And again, I always say this, but if you are new to my channel, I am a registered nurse. And this one was released in 2020, and so it's kind of my my memory stitch for the pandemic. So anyway, and that's what it was I intended to be. But you guys, I gotta tell you, this is very, very slow going because I have never stitched anything on black. And I chose for my first thing on black to be linen, which I was probably not the best idea. And I'm actually, this one I'm stitching on 28 count casual, black casual linen, and I think I'm going to love the way that it looks, but I'm having a really hard time seeing it. It did help me to have either white paper under it or a light underneath it while I was stitching on it. I had to stitch on it during the day. So I didn't get very far on this, but it really took me a little bit of time to sort of figure out my method, because I find that I don't really reach for it simply because it's really hard for me to see. So, and I'm doing it, you know, 2 over 2. So it's, you know, the same size as 14 count would be. So it's not tiny. But anyway, but it's just, I probably should have started on black Ada for the first time stitching on a dark fabric, but you know, hey. But anyway, so that is Plague Nurse, and that was one of my WIPGOs, and my WIPGO goal for her was to stitch 3 hours on her, and that's what I did. And like I said, didn't get very far because it was really slow going with the black linen. But that is Plague Nurse. And then my other WIPGO call, and these were for March, my other WIPGO call was this Janlin stocking that I had started a few years ago in Mania, and just had, all I had done was this penguin's little, kind of like the, no back stitching, but that little rim on the penguin's hat was all I had done. So I decided I wanted to try to finish the hat, at least all the crosses in the hat. And I did, and I got actually some other things done on it. And again, my goals are to stitch for 3 hours on my on this one. And so you can see I got the hat done almost. I think maybe there's another light green leaf over here, which I just didn't get to, but I did get to a couple of the snowflakes, and that purple snowflake is metallic. I don't know if you can see that. Gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. And then I did start on the little flipper of the next penguin. So anyway, so that's 3 hours worth of work on that. There was a really, now it doesn't look like very much, but there was lots in, what, 7 or 8 colors in the hat. So anyway, but yeah, but this one, you guys, I was really on the fence on whether or not I was gonna UFO it, because I just wasn't sure if this was one I wanted to do, and I decided that I want to keep working on it, and I would like to finish it and, you know, have it for a family member at some point. So yeah, so I was glad that, you know, that was one thing WIPGO did, is it helped me to decide whether or not I wanted to keep going on that one, and I did enjoy it, and so I will keep going on it. Now you guys were moving into WIPGO for April, and my WIPGO calls for April, one was to finish my Lizzie Kate seasons, and I have actually summer, autumn, and winter are completely done. So all I needed to do was spring, and I had a little start. I had started I had one of these little dash lines done, and I think the branch, and that was all I had done. And I actually had to frog some of it because I had miscounted. But you guys, these were my first projects on any kind of even weave. These were the ones that I decided to start on when I jumped from Ada to even weave. And I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. He's throwing himself at the door because he hears me talking. But I had to lock them out because they were getting into everything. But maybe I'll let him in by the end of the video so you can see him. But anyway, so spring was the last one I had done. I did all of these. I got some. This is Mushroom Monaco, Even Weave from Hobby Lobby, and it was when they, I don't even think they carry this anymore, the brand. It might be MCG Textiles, but they had a big clearance a few years ago, and I got like 3 rolls of it, and so it was a big piece, and I just cut it into 4 and did all the seasons on them. So, yeah, so spring was the last one that I had to do. Like I said, I had this done and this little branch, and the rest of it I needed to finish, so I've been working away on it, and I just finished it today. So there is my spring. And I think, you guys, I meant to pull what I might finish these in on. I have these little galvanized little stands that have like a kickstand on it, and so I might do like a flat fold on these and then use magnets to put them on there. But I really don't have a lot of room in my house to like just set things around. I don't have a lot of shelves, and I do actually get a little, I don't know, I get a little anxious by lots of stuff sitting around. So I'm not really sure yet, but here is spring. I pulled out the rest of them to show you. And again, my first foray into even weave. So there's the one I just finished today. There's winter. I did make a few color changes, you guys, and I did use these Lizzie Kate patterns have, they have the fancy floss and then also the DMC conversion. And so I went with the DMC because, like I said, I'd never done anything on even weave. And if I had these to do again, or if I'd ever decided to do them again, I would, because it calls for the same colors for all 4 seasons. And I've really found the DMCs to be very rich colors and kind of autumnal, which was kind of great for winter and autumn, but not as much for summer and, you know, summer and spring. So I probably would have just swapped out my own colors. For instance, you can see on this, you know, like I said, I used all the DMC colors, and you can see my chick is kind of gold. And I would have preferred the chick to be, you know, a little bit more of a fluffy chick yellow and probably a little lighter pink, and the tulip and, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, I just forged ahead and did the called for on this. But like I said, I did change some of them. For instance, on winter, I did go with a darker brown for the deer because the color that was called for was a little bit of a lighter brown even than this, and I just thought it blended in too much on this color of fabric, because this is not the called for fabric. The called for fabric is 32 count amber linen, Witchelt amber linen, and like I said, I use this mushroom Monaco. But there's winter, and like I said, I made the deer a little darker so you could see him. And then I don't think I changed anything about summer. This might have been the first one I did too. So there's summer. Cute. So, and then of course here is autumn. And and what I did swap out on this one is I made, instead of, you were supposed to make the crow and the scissors and the handle of the pumpkin that blue color that's in it, that kind of that navy blue, and I really didn't want to add, I didn't really want a navy blue crow, so I swapped out a dark gray for that, which I think looks fine. So, and I do the scissors are gray too. So, yep. So those are my Lizzie Kate seasons. All done with that. So yay me. So I'm glad, and got the WIPGO goal completed as well. My other thing that was called for WIPGO was to start or work on a felt stocking. I had decided if you look back at my videos, I did a little foray into felt applique because I wanted to refurbish my kids' 30-year-old stockings that my mom had helped me make, you know, many, many moons ago. And so I used, and mostly they had felt little objects on them, and so mostly I bought a couple of felt kits to use to refurbish the stockings, and I enjoyed it so much I decided I wanted to actually do a whole stocking project. And so I got this one. I'm going to make this for my kitties for Christmas. So this is Kitty Treat Be Soul Stocking, and I'm just doing it just like the, with everything in the kit. So, and I chose this one. I have some other kits, but I chose this one because it had of all the kits that I had, it was the simplest and it had the least number of steps. And you guys, if you've ever done one of these kits, this one only has about, I think this one has about 40 or 50 steps, where, you know, some of them have like 150 steps. So I decided to do this one. And I hadn't started it yet, so I went ahead and got this one started. And I think instead of putting, I have 3 cats, so instead of putting the cat's name on, I think I'm just going to put cats on there. So this is their stocking, but I did get a start on this one, and this is where I am on it. So I cut it out, and it says to do all the embroidery and sequins and beading first, and I like to do all the embroidery first, because then the embroidery floss doesn't snag on the sequins and beads. So anyway, so there's still quite a bit to go on here. I'm going to try to finish the outline before the end of the month, and then these are all embroidered. These are embroidered, and then these are pieced in sequins. So, and then of course there's that cute little piecing across the front there. So so I still have a ways to go on this, but I did get started on it, and that was, you know, I didn't have a number of days I had to work on it or anything. So like I said, my goal is to finish the border. I'll probably work on that tonight, since I finished my other thing. And this is the outline stitch, and I'm still learning embroidery stitches. I have never really done a ton of embroidery, but so that is the other one of my WIPGO. So I have made that goal as well. And I did want to show you, I did the floss in these kits comes like just in a wad of floss. And so I decided to make some floss drops for it. And I used some cat paper that I had, and just a little tag punch. And then this little, it was a stack of paper that had little cat icons on it. So that's what I used, and just put on a little ring. And again, these are things that I had on hand. So so I made those just to kind of organize my kit. So yeah, so that was WIPGO for April, which I'm happy to say I can cross those off now. And then in terms of haul, you guys, like I said, I've been kind of on a no buy, and I've been trying really hard not to spend a lot of money. I have so much stuff that I've been trying really hard, but I did cave a few times. And I did buy this little dimensions kit. What is it called? Nordic Winter. And you guys, I just find I really like to have stuff going for my family. And I want to make this for my sister. She lives in Sweden. And I thought this would be perfect. And I don't know if I will keep it on the white Aida, or if I will, if I'll swap out the fabric. But I do love the colors, and think that she and her wife would really love it. So so I did buy that little kit. It came up on my feed for Amazon one day, so I got it. And then the other thing that I bought, speaking of Busilla kits, is I bought these little ornaments, these little seashore Santa ornaments, and I actually have this seashore Santa stocking. It has a lot of steps, but I did go ahead and get this too. I actually have a little artificial tree that I put in my entryway, and I decorate it for the seasons. And so in the summer I have a beach tree, and I just thought these would be really cute, along with the mermaids that I still have that I didn't use, and the shells too, that these would be really cute on the beach tree. So when I saw, who was it? Calico Whimsy here on Flosstube was working on these, and they were so cute. So so I went ahead and bought this kit. And again, you can see there, hopefully, all the sequins and the kind of the wad of floss, and then all the stamped felt in there. So yeah, so I bought that. So those were my two little fell off the wagons. But that's that. And then my plans, you guys, I have another niece getting married in October, and so I need to get her her cross stitch done. I had done one for the niece that got married last October, and it's also on my channel if you want to see me working on it and then see it fully finished. But this is what I've chosen to do for my niece and her new husband, and it's this one. It's another Lizzie Kate. And it says, if you can't read it, it says, these three things abide: faith, hope, and love, and the greatest is love. So it's a kind of biblical. It has a cross on it, so which I think they will appreciate. And so So that is what I'm going to do, but I can't, you guys, there's two. I'm doing it in the Fancy Floss, and I'm doing it on the called for linen, which is, what is it? Wichilt Import. I think this is natural linen, I think. Does it say what count? Oh, it says 30 count natural linen. And I just put it in my cart, so I'm not sure if this is 30 count or not. It probably is, because I put it, you know, on 1, 2, 3 stitch. When you buy a pattern, you can just choose all of the threads and fabric, and that's what I did. But they had 2 of the threads that were not available, and so the first one is this Faith, Hope, and Love, which is kind of a barn red. What is it? Let me look here. It is Gentle Art Weathered Barn, which they did not have, and also they didn't have Gentle Art Maple Syrup, which is these letters. So they didn't have either of the letters, and so and you guys, I've been looking for them. I was gonna just purchase them, and I've been looking for them, but I can't find them both on one website, and I really don't want to pay. You know, I'm trying not to buy, and I really don't want to pay a bunch of shipping for one skein of floss. So I decided to look through my stash and sub out, and I decided, instead of the barn red, and you guys tell me what you think, instead of the barn red, which will be those big words in the center, that Faith, Hope, and Love, I decided to go with this Color and Cotton. It's like an eggplant, lightly variegated purple, and it's called Witch's Brew. And so I think I'm going to do that. I think it looks pretty with these other colors. And then for the other lettering, I pulled this DMC. I didn't have a brown that I liked on the linen that wasn't either too close of a color or was also really dark. And I don't want it to be as dark as those letters in the middle. So I think I'm going to go with that. So this is my Floss Toss. And I think it's pretty. My mom's favorite color was purple, so I kind of like that I'm subbing out the red for the purple. And I think so far, I think these colors look nice together, but I am not really very good, you guys, at color theory. So I had a variegated brown I really would like to have used, but some of it was almost exactly the same color as the linen. So I think I'm just going to go with this DMC, which is 840, which is also kind of a cool brown, kind of medium brown, and then the rest of them are called for. It has Classic Colorworks Frosted Sage, Classic Colorworks Rosy Glow, and Sweetheart, which are the pinks and blues, and then Endive for the Gast, Straw Bonnet, and then, like I said, I'm going to use this Color and Cotton and that DMC for the other 2 colors that I couldn't find. So anyway, so that is my plan. I'm going to probably get that started. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or if I'm going to start on it next weekend or maybe tomorrow. I'd like to get it started this weekend because of course I need to get it done in time to get it framed. And when I give a gift, like a wedding gift, I do have it professionally framed. So anyway, so that is my plans. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day and a good stitchy month, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.